Yo, this new izna is so good, it's gotta have at least 100 million views. Whoa, only 11 million? So let's get this straight, 11 million is actually a lot of views. But if we consider the larger context of izna and how much hype was built around them at their debut and the backing they have with the Black label and their amazing production team, and when we compare Metronome's performance to numbers that we've seen izna do in the past, I think it's safe to say that izna's most recent comeback is underperforming. The song is incredible and hits all the marks of a great title track. It clocks in at just under 3 minutes and it seamlessly blends different elements of house music, which have been a huge trend in 2026. It's super catchy and it's got a really cool dance break. So why is it underperforming? Well, I think this case proves that K-pop is not necessarily just about the music, but has a lot to do with momentum and market presence. To understand what I mean, let's look at how izna was formed and how we got to this point. Izna was the result of a joint project between Mnet, the Black label, yes, the same Black label who manages Meow and All Day Project, and Wake One, yes, the same Wake One who managed Kepler at the beginning of their career. The project that izna was formed through was a survival show called Island 2, which aimed to create Wake One's first permanent, non-temporary girl group. The July 2024 Island 2 finale established the 7-member lineup who became known as izna, and they hit the ground running. In September of that same year, before izna even made their official debut, they performed at KCON in front of thousands of fans. And in a crazy, unprecedented move, izna also performed on day 2 of the Mama 2024 Awards in Japan, giving us a sneak peek into their first EP concept before its official release scheduled only 3 days later. I'm actually surprised at how well they performed on such a big stage before they even technically debuted. They all showed incredible confidence and already proved that they were ready to take on the world. And on November 25th, izna made their official debut with the self-titled song, Izna. They were off to a hot start, but only roughly 3 months after a very successful debut, one of their members, Jiyoon, had to take a hiatus for health issues that required medical attention. They were now missing the soulful vocal pillar of the group. But despite her absence, Wake One could not afford to be with. Released their first digital single, Sign, on March 31st of 2025, which ended up becoming their most popular song, and with good reason. This song is a retro synth masterpiece and is probably my favorite izna song. Produced mainly by Vivian, Teddy, and Kush, I think they really tapped into izna's strengths with this song, and I knew right away that this is izna's signature sound. I've literally had this song on heavy rotation ever since it came out. So now this is where the momentum stuff comes into play. Wake One announced Jiyoon's official departure from the group on August 19th of 2025, and the lineup made a permanent change to 6 members. And 6 months after the release of Sign, izna released their second EP called Not Just Pretty, led by the title track Mamma Mia. My honest opinion on Mamma Mia is that they picked the wrong song for the title track. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid song, but I think it lacks the polish and character that brings out the best in izna. It's got a really cool dance break, but outside of that, in my opinion, the verses and the chorus fall a little flat and lack the excitement and flair that makes izna so great. There is, however, a song on this project that is absolutely worthy of being the title track, and that song is Race Car. I really don't know why this wasn't chosen as a title track. I think all you had to do is add another 16 bars to the bridge, build a little more anticipation, and have a bit of a more climactic final chorus, and you've got the recipe for an incredible title track. Again, my opinion, I think if they went with Race Car, it would have done much bigger numbers than Mamma Mia, and I think it would have eventually surpassed Sign as their most popular song. So with the, in my opinion, lackluster title track in Mamma Mia, we get a 9-month break until the release of Metronome. I think Metronome is an amazing title track, and it is definitely one of my favorite K-pop songs to be released in 2026. But the reason its numbers look the way they do across the board is a combination of a few things. Firstly is the lack of impact from Mamma Mia, and second is the long gap between comebacks. So because of these factors, I think Izna has slowly fallen out of the mainstream spotlight, and they've just got less eyes on them. In that long break between comebacks, we've got groups from bigger companies who have a more consistent comeback schedule. So these groups like Le Seraphim, aespa, Islet are maintaining a much stronger market presence. But while the numbers don't reflect this right now, I think the whole project Set the Tempo and the title track Metronome are bringing Izna back to that signature polished retro sound that they do best. B-sides like Infinity and Lean On Me give us that nostalgic, melancholic sound that really sets Izna apart from the rest of the fifth generation. So after all these setbacks, Izna is facing an uphill battle, but I think Metronome and Set the Tempo are a true return to form artistically, and I think they've set the foundation for a strong revival. Momentum really does take time to build, or in this case rebuild, but when you have music that's this good, a breakthrough is not only possible, it is inevitable. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.